What is up, everybody? Don't you love it when a stream starts early? Alright, I'm just going to be giving myself a nice little sound check here. Oh man, I'm going to have to learn how to talk all over again. It should be okay. I'm sure it's going to be fine. Let's see what we're rocking at. That sounds pretty good, yeah. Yeah, let's rock with it. Look at that modern technology, gotta love it. Alright. So, got the chat up for any questions. Alright, so people, so they know exactly where they at, because they see a lot of hours accumulated on this game. I have done zero zilch of Season 2. Absolutely nothing of Season 2. Basically been gone the entirety of Season 2. And this will be some unfiltered, just making moves, coming back into the server, back into the body. And hopefully the frame rate won't drop too much. We are working off an RX 570 MK2. It's a video card that came out in 2016. That's about the oldest card I would recommend running this game. I have the graphics set to medium here. And you can see it still kind of a little bit laggy. That is one of the first things that I'll recommend about this game, is that especially when you're doing expeditions, if you want to be able to see all the enemies' combat moves, if you want to understand what hit you in the game, you should be shooting for at least 30 frames a second. 30 frames will be able to give you enough reaction time. I'm just quietly lurking in the faction chat here. So what has happened here is the Syndicate have been Syndicate. Oh, look at that. Covenant and Blessed Marauders. We're going to be rejoining the Marauders here. But I have noticed that there's a lot of Syndicate players that are currently logged back in, and they were part of this faction, and they have a large dominance over the map. This is usually due to their high numbers. Some folks, let me make sure I keep the chat up. Boom, yep. A lot of people complain about the Syndicate being the easy mode, and what you get for having control of this faction is that it's a little cheaper to travel to, but you also have access to things like this crate here. So there's a couple of extra rewards. Something that I like about the Syndicate being in control of Weaver's Fen that kind of plays into a benefit for the community is that because the Syndicate do have such large numbers, lots of people coming to this oil vat here will help keep oil prices down, because like, say if the Marauders took over Weaver's Fen, there wouldn't be a very large line here, but it's because the Syndicate have it, it can actually affect the oil prices. And let's go see what those are at right now. So, the way I've shorthanded this is that instead of saying point gold, I've been saying cents, which is very not RP of me, role-playing of me. Maybe I could say shillings, perhaps. I don't know. That sounds pretty sure that's an actual European currency still, though. Look at myself, uncultured swine. I usually refer to it as like 89 cents or 0.89 gold if I'm going to be technical. It changes. This in Anywho, it is nearly doubled in price, and a tip that I would like to do is that we can look at the cheapest price on the market, and then I also recommend just looking at the total quantities that are on the market, because this is the real kind of like what's at stake currently. Now this doesn't reflect what's in everyone's inventory, so what's, you know, hiding in their storages and their little loot boxes. So it looks like the price is projected to go up. Let's see, those are 9 days, 7 days. So 1 week forecast of this going up. And currently, since I have returned, a lot of my storages are over encumbered, and this is something that I really want to show players right away. I'll try to get the start of this video condensed with some good information. So, when I put up orders on the auction house, when they come off of auction, so when they expire and they don't sell, they get returned into your inventory. So all these weapons here were at one point on the auction house, as well as a lot of this fish bait here. And you can see that I'm about 3,000 pounds over the limit here. And I can see that that's mostly because of my Arcana. So when your Arcana, we're going to go a little inventory management here real quick. When my Arcana starts getting too big, this is where I start working from the workshops, the different workshops that you have. This one would be the arcane table. And that's when we start refining stuff, especially since I'm in a more end player position. If you are in a like level 45, level 30, it's still very useful to have a lot of these base magical elements at your disposal, because you're still crafting level 20 items in some cases, and they don't need quints. They don't need the final form. However, these way less. So see how this represents way more magical essence than this here. And how you save storage space in this game is by refining the resources, condensing them down. You can see in your inventory here that the raw resources weigh the most. You can see that these raw resources by itself, 61, 61, 75. And there's a total encumbrance weight at the top. So we're projecting the prices of oil to go up. Oil is a fundamental ingredient for coatings, so that can affect the coating market. And potions as a whole, the whole consumables market really rewards the people that consistently check back on. Speaking, let's go straight into the dailies that you can start. So this was one of them. The cart was one of them here. Now you can see that I actually have some missions that I can go turn in at this town board. Now, if I was just... I always advise people to not get trapped in their map. Just learn how to walk through it. You can see this is why I'm gathering, and you can see that there's another level 41, another syndicate player leveling up. So we turn in these quests here, and this is just, I had 20 feathers, and then fish bait. I'm surprised I don't have the fish bait, or those, or the lumber. Crazy. Okay, so I believe I have enough base materials to make this, so we are looking for the forge of all things. Hey, Elaney Smith. I appreciate it. I'm a little bit of a bare bones. The next thing I'm going to invest in is going to be lights, actually. I'm going to invest in some physical equipment before I get into the artist work. Here's what we got. So these here, some of the missions I picked up at the town board, these are actually the quickest way to level up your weaponsmithing or your armoring. Okay, I'm super Discord shy, but I appreciate it. Oh, you know what? I still don't. You know what can go right above my head? I could throw the chat up there. That's what I'm gonna do. That way it can be more interactive. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and buy a couple base resources. So, for many players that haven't done town board missions before, you would actually only need the iron ore and the raw materials. You wouldn't need to refine anything. That's why when you're, what I recommend as you're leveling up is to start at the forge and then work your way around. Okay, so, whoop. Oh, I already said that I'm super Discord shy. Okay, $1. We're gonna buy like 50. Oh, I guess I can only buy 45. Okay, and then we needed timber. And that's a little bit cheaper, or another 50 of those. That's... And I know that I actually have another upgraded one I need to do. And I didn't need as much. What else did I need? That would be layered leather? No. Rugged leather, that's the one. Oh man, these are the most expensive. Blah. And did I already buy coarse leather? I can't remember. I feel like I did. So we're gonna organize by oldest to newest. I can look at this real quick. I could have made my own bars, but I am okay with having some base materials here. Alright, so we're gonna go back to the forge. My next advice, I've kept the chat up just so people can see what it's like on here in El Dorado and the little syndicate faction chat. I know that it was before season 1, people really like to talk about how lonely they were on the world chat. Alright. So I must have forgotten something. Ah, lumber. Okay. Well, I have everything else, so we're gonna go ahead and craft these bad boys. I want you to see that this gives 1,845 weaponsmithing, right? For 20 iron ingots and lumber. Let's see. We can sort this by the XP gains, right? So let's see what's something comparable to that. 1,800. Okay, so that's not close. The closest thing I've seen so far is kind of this, plus 2,200. Oh, that's plus 6,000. What am I misreading here? Plus 1,845. Oh, okay, so something like this. So you can see how 14 steel, you can see how this gives less experience, and it requires a whole tier higher of the refined resource compared to this. Alright, let's make some lumber real quick. The auction house might be quicker. They're the same distance. Nope, the lumber mill was closer. Oh well, here we are now. And then, let's see, I've already taken the honey today. Lumber. Again, we didn't need that much, so even though we're buying it all, did I buy enough? I don't feel like I bought enough. So people talk about the grind. That's what people are talking about a lot. And I would like to tell you to not do that to yourself. There's no reason that you are going to hit 60 no matter what. No matter what you do, everything gives you experience in this game. You will hit 60. I hit 60 by fishing. I got the screenshots to prove it. Alright. And you can see how this gives almost 6,000. And we're still cheap resources in comparatively. Alright, that's all. Huh. Are you able to buy money in this game? That's what they're talking about now. Consumables. Well, I guess they're talking about that you can buy money because of the battle pass. Umbral shards, vials, gypsums, orbs. Let's see, 4 days to get through this, huh? Quickest way would probably be the story mode. I wonder how far I could get through Season 2. Maybe we'll go check that out while we've still got the chance. I am getting to the point where I do want to start doing stuff about my storages. Now, I'm a little infamous. Not everyone knows how much of a problem I am, but some people like to say that I don't like to have fun. I just have honor amongst men. That's what it is. So I have to hide in my house, like like the real recluse that I am. Alright, and so as far as housing designs go, you'll spawn in right here. I like to have a chest, boom, bada bing, bada boom right there. However, you can interact with any chest that you have laid out. So to be able to use a chest, which I actually have a handy dandy chest like this, so these types of stuff are not, they're not soul bound to you. So you can actually trade them and you can put them in each other's houses. So you can actually borrow a legendary trophy. And a couple cool decorating tips that I'll also give out is that this is a storage chest, but you can actually place items on top of it and it doesn't affect being able to interact with it. Something else is that I like to have my chairs where you can actually still interact with them. If you have them to left or right of the walls and things like that, you won't be able to sit down in them. And you're able to get some unique views in town, so you're still able to see everyone coming about. So I kind of picked this spot because I could really see if the Covenant are going to be having trouble. Like, I could see if a bunch of people are doing their quests in, and they don't know if I'm in town or not. I have the privacy of my home here. Well, I also have gotten another territory standing up in here, so let's look at... There's some good ones here. So, if I kept on increasing this, I believe the most I'm going to be getting around it, if I sunk in all my money, is that I'd be looking at about a 50% reduction in tax. And a 50% reduction in tax or a station fee. Some people would say that this stuff is just money, so it doesn't really matter because there's always going to be money. You're always going to have money. So the storage space can help you make more money. So after I have capped some of these out on the 30%, I'm more of the well-rounded. I picked a couple of, there's a couple specifically that I put in my trading tax. The stat that I regret most putting things into is property tax, because you, especially with them being able to refund 50% of your housing costs, be able to move, you should not be super attached to a certain area. You should change houses when you want to gain more territory standing in an area more rapidly. And because you'll naturally be in the area more because it is now a respawn point for you. No matter what, while we're speaking of houses, is that you should get these houses as you unlock them. So if I go to attributes, I can still go to my leveling rewards here, and you can see that you get your house at level 15 and then a second house 35. And you don't want to waste any time getting this, because especially now people will say like the trophies in your second house aren't worth it, but that's an extra 4% damage that you can do. That's a whole nother combat trophy, and that's another extra 4% damage. It depends on exactly what combat trophy that you get, but you get it at level 35. You can see here a basic combat trophy, and these aren't expensive, is 4%. I believe a minor is 3%. So another change that I have noticed coming back into this game is the faction rewards. So they are able, you have a syndicate outfit that you are able to create a replica of. You can have more tokens. They seem to remove the cap because there's actually the ultimate trophies. You can, for 100,000 faction tokens, you can fuse all your combat trophies together and have one combat trophy. And you can fuse all your gathering trophies together and have a ultimate gathering trophy, which I think is super cool. So this number has been going down. I don't know what I've really been blowing my money on. Probably fishing bait. Probably. I think I have... Ah, yes. Lots. Good made. Let's see. Ah, yes. I was giving out the little tip for... What's the word? Decorating. Yeah, I'm smart. Okay. So I need the... This is bad. So let's look at another one that's really over encumbered that it's not getting out of here. Alright, so these were buy orders, so I put buy orders in for 10,000 apiece. And it looks like they mostly filled. And then also I have all of these because I never wanted to have this problem again. I never wanted the market to be volatile in this regard, so I just took that element out one day once I had enough money. Alright, let's go and in these quests. So I cannot start a performance inside the house. So really, really big tip for people leveling up is to play music. It is a 30% bonus. Alright, we're gonna go somewhere poppin'. And I'm gonna do a quick mute here, and we're gonna come on. Fisherman's Lament. Where is it? Oh, is it only skilled? No way. Come on. What am I looking at? They changed the music? Oh man, I'm looking. No, see, there it is. Yeah, but play it on expert. It's not there. It's just skilled. Okay, whatever. And we're gonna do Territorial Triumph. And if you have a hard time hitting these notes, hold down the keyboard longer. Alright, and that's going to give me an extra 30% there for an hour. Bam. I've almost gotten to a whole aptitude. And there is, this town is absolutely barren. Now, we're going to talk about that being absolutely barren. So, if there's players in the world, they are somewhere. They are always physically somewhere. The only place that they can be where you can't see them is if they are in these houses. So if they're, excuse me, if they are crafting, if they are tinkering away, they have to be out in the open in public. Alright, let's go back up. We're going to turn in as many of these quests then while we have this hour upon us. We had those done. Okay, that's why it was a quest. Okay. So we are going to go buy all that from the auction house real quick. And it doesn't matter what the price is. We're going to stimulate the economy here. Alright, so firm fish fillet. And then you see how this is blue? When I buy enough of them, it makes that sound there, and it'll go green that I finished. Alright, so, and then we also have fish bait. And we're gonna buy, how much was it, 15 of them? And then we had an infused mana potion. Just one of those. And we had more lumber to buy. 25. So we're actually going to have to go to the next buy order here. Oh, that's not enough, huh? 5 more? $20 more? Okay, there we go. Now I have enough. Alright, heading back up. And not that guy. This guy. Okay. And we're just going to hit complete all. And then I'm going to go ahead and keep on doing this. I had those on me, 90 and 30. And we're just going to pump this into the economy here. And so what I'm doing right here is what company members should be having the daily withdrawal limits let people do. They should be able to do their withdrawal, buy everything that they need from the market, and hand in their town board missions, and that will help reduce the upkeep costs for the company. So it's a roundabout way to save money that also helps build community. It was 90 of those, so I need 40 more. And then the iron ingots. A solid $1 a piece. We only need 30. And I could be a lot more picky too about who I'm buying from. It only takes a couple clicks and then I could be only buying from one territory. So I could just choose not to do business with people in other territories for some reason. And where your money goes in this, your money does go somewhere in this game. So it's important to think about that a little bit. Alright. So we have done all the town board missions that we can in there. Let's go ahead and allocate. So I'm going to go ahead, since storage came up, I'm going to go ahead and take the storage because that card won't always come up now at this point. I am hitting a point where it's better for me to have more storage, because what that will do is it'll allow me to initially it will allow me to move larger quantities easier by having more storage, because I can go, I have, well, I can overcapacitate it. But you can do that with any storage. You can overcapacitate any storage, but it's more about when you need to get that extra 50 pounds, and if you move an item of all the same type, it will let you over encumber the storage. So getting that extra 50 storage gives you extra 100 storage sometimes, and sometimes that's all you need to be able to just move stuff around and actually get your storage. Alright, so we have a lot of that done. And lots of rawhide. So yeah, I have gathered enough of those resources where I could really have done some of it myself, but I'm not worried about it right now. So you can see too, let's talk about gear sets that you can. This is a Skinner set. Now what this does is that it gives me additional luck, and luck is something that you cannot ignore in this game because luck will affect your drop rates. So, now, I'm not worried about 590 gear score for, let's look at my fishing gear here real quick. So, for your fishing gear, it doesn't really matter if it's 590 or not, because it will give you, it'll only increase your focus. That's the only stat. You can't increase it, you don't get an even better chance at a larger fish. This game is very good because it tells you exactly how stuff stacks. In some rare exceptions, it doesn't. I use New World facts to figure out if something doesn't stack. Like on bags, that was one of the things that we weren't sure if it stacked or not, which was loyalty. If loyalty stacked. Right. So the easiest way to cut down on my weight would be to do some of these raw resources. However, we're going to wait on that. So I'm not sure. Now, towns are set up a little bit differently, and I really like having my recall set to Restless Shore to the inn for this reason. I hope I remember it. Let's see if you guys spot it. So, did you spot it? Do you see what's so cool about having the inn here in Restless Shore? It's because the spawn, the fast travel, is over there. And you'd have to walk all the way around this horseshoe. We're gonna go ahead and turn in these quests now. Ooh, Project Progenitor. Oh, I see. That's just some of the battle pass. And then an important step for how to claim this is that you actually have to open up your battle pass. Which I guess I don't know how to do anymore. Ah, there we go. I just had to hit back. So you actually have to click it here to be able to claim it. Now I have received it and it's been grayed out. Alright, let's... And I'm looking for a green marker where the rest of these are. We're just going to fast travel around. And then where you, if you don't know what to prioritize some days, what I was saying is that if you need, when should you prioritize doing your town board missions is when your faction has control over the free fast travel. That's when it'll be free fast travel, and you can just keep on dunking around all the towns without having to burn any A's off. Would really help a lower level character, someone coming up in their level 30s or 45s. You do hit a point where you'll generate enough Azoth to where you'll be maxed out a lot of times. Okay, so we are going to keep on picking these up as I see them, and then those are really easy. So we're gonna buy all this stuff off of the market here real quick, and then continue on our way again. Okay, so standing gain, this helps. This is nice, but you don't want to go like past 24%. You can start putting things into other, because so what this is that if it's 30% for everything else, the reason why, yes, it dies because eventually you get max territory standing. But what this does is that this makes it where the territory standing that I need is 30% less. Because I'm gaining 29%, but it reduces the cost of everything by 30%. Is that how you do math? Maybe a mathematician can tell me I'm wrong about that. However, I am done doing that there. Faction reputation, it's always nice to get more, but gathering, just having faster gathering money, because that's time. Gathering speed is time. And you can always have more money, but you can't get more time. So that's to your base. That is your base gathering speed, which makes everything exponentially more. Alright. So, right, we were going to buy this stuff. Let's refresh my memory on things. So fish, greenwood, energizing light rations. And then the reason why I'm collecting honey everywhere I go is that you can use it as a, what's the word? A season. Look at how expensive these darn things are because of lazy people like me. How many of these do I need? More than 10. Man, did I only need 25? Seems like a weird number. No. Oh, it was 250. That's how much. Gosh, what was the last thing? What was it? What was it? Help. Oh, fish fillet. How could I forget the fish fillet? We're gonna do this one though, as well, since we're going back. Gosh, how many of these do I need? More than that? Really? Okay, so silk is weird. So I had to get infused silk, and then I'll just click silk here to get it. Oh man, how many of these do I need? This stuff ain't cheap. What? Gosh, how much do I need? More? Gross. Okay, cool. Some are more expensive than others. It's not a big deal. Okay, let's keep on. Do I have any other places to go? Nope. Okay, let's look for the card around here. I'm not exactly sure where it would be. Ah, here it is. It's going to be an ore. Okay. Iron. Cool. Okay. Let's see. We are good on all our quests currently. So let's do next best thing. So right now, my favorite place to go do corrupted is in Weaver's Fen. But right now, there's only a minor. So not a whole lot are going to be popping up. Here, minor and major. So there's going to be more popping up around this area. And you know what? We are going to go to Restless Shore. This is where we're going to go. But first, so I can recall to the end in 4 minutes actually. So we will go ahead and what type of day do I want to have? Do I want to get some of this battle pass done? I don't know. Okay, so, oh, I have to open that, don't I? Yep, okay. Now I have the 500 honorable shards. So, another thing for returning players is that the package opening has been spruced up a little bit. You might have also noticed how the icons are looking a little bit more shiny, and just better icons over a few more things as well. Like the Azoth. It's hard to say exactly what's all has changed. I have 1,002 hours in this game. I have played MMOs my whole life. Sold sellers are nothing new. Oh, gold sellers. Yes. Okay. So Syndicate have put in work. One of the reasons, so when it gets to this point, it's not fun for these reasons. And this is why when people are like, oh yeah, everyone can just join one side, but it gets boring for people because there's nothing to push here. You can take away their influence that they've gained, but that's not the popular play mechanic. People will just rather people spend the money, go to war. They don't think it's worth the effort on just defending areas while things are getting pushed. I really would like to. If this game, it would take a lot of love from the community to get it, but I think it would be worth on just defending it from actually having wars, because so many bad things can happen in a war. There's just can be disconnect stuff, and it puts your whole country, your whole empire at stake. And if you can avoid that ever happening. You don't have to put that stake up if you actually have control of the area. Then you can have a lot of people that you can actually build up a community in this game where people wouldn't want you to be dethroned. They would rather people push something else, someone else out of power. Looking for one. Bum. So, it's level 55. I'm not gonna teeter around with that. I think I've wasted 5 minutes. Have I not? Oh, 1 minute left. Let's check. Do I have a storage unit nearby? Perchance? Nah. And here I'm just being stingy on the Azoth. Yeah, season pass value is pretty bad. You know, when we're talking about value of a season pass, it is like, I'm glad people can nerd out about stuff like that. And that I think it's hard, though, to be able to determine who is giving a genuine critique of a battle pass, because I think that requires a lot of industry knowledge on just knowing how much time it takes to develop some of these skins, and just the labor behind what went into something that is going to be free for some players based on to what is going to be bought. I'm not going to interject there. Be spicy too. Okay, so recalling the inn. You know what they say, in a world full of bots, someone's got to... Oh, it's not that type of bot. Oh, it's like a robot. Ah. Oh man, I just want to feed the fire so bad. Okay. So, we're going to show another little sneaky thing that I like to do. Because, you know what I collect? Lodestone. Because there's no... Lodestone is just a little bit everywhere. It's got, yeah, sure, there's places where it pops up. But there's no, like, gold mine. Ooh, I'm even flying for PvP. Whatevers. Okay. One of my favorite to do is actually out here in Restless Shore. There's a nice little quick run we can do. And mining luck does matter for the lodestone too. I have seen there is the possibility of getting elemental drops off of it. Though, I don't know much about that one. I believe I've only seen it happen one time. Okay, something I'm not gonna... Ah, gosh. Now, I'm not just rushing around for the lodestone. I am actually really happy to collect all these resources. And also what this does is that if someone came in right behind me, like they're following a loop and they're also collecting resources, it makes me not look super greedy, which is a nice plus. It gives someone time that's going out in the world to collect their own resources. And also, if they are only doing the lodestone, there's going to be a break because I didn't just go and harvest all the lodestone. They won't be able to follow in my tracks and have it respawn at the rate that it was mined, because that's not how it was. It wasn't mined at the rate of respawn. And also, I don't even know if that lodestone is over there or not. Oh, I accidentally drank a potion. So, in general, it's cheaper to use health potions than it is regeneration potions. And the reason that is because there is more of a demand for regeneration potions, because regeneration potions proc certain ability conditions. So, I'm gonna go ahead and leave those trees up real quick. There's actually even more lodestone that I could get. Now, I did say that there isn't like a big condense of a lodestone. However, that's not true. There is a nice surplus out in what's in an unclaimable area known as the Bite. Ooh, yes please. This Soul Spire. Nice, nice, nice. Gosh, and I will need, I thought I was going to be able to be on camera the whole time, lickety-split, no problem. I am going to need a short little break. And you know what we're going to do? We're even going to leave. Nah, we're not going to do that. We're going to take that before we go. Now, it would be really worth me to have my luck gear on for the weird wood, because the even wood, that's the good stuff right there. And you can see that some of my luck is proccing. Alright, be right back. I also remembered that I set myself up for this, and I got myself donuts. Okay, and make sure I get that chat back up. Cool. Okay. I did all the harvesting there. Herbs are underrated, I would say. I don't really see a whole lot of advice about herbs. I think picking up herbs is one of the best ways to be able to increase your harvesting. Alright, so I could continue out on that trek, but that's not what I'm really interested in doing here. I want to go to Eden Grove. That's where I want to end up. Let's see. That will recall in 18 minutes. Let's go to even scale reach here real quick. So, another tip that I'll throw out here on what you should be doing is that you want to make sure that your house respawns are on cooldown. And we're just entering in our first hour of New World. For folks that are joining in midstream, I played none of Season 2. Absolutely none of Season 2. Exit the house, darn it. Help me, I'm trapped. Okay, so I'm not going to be a heathen and jump off the roof like some immortal imbecile. Not yet, at least. Okay, yeet. Alright, so we actually don't own this. And I'm just looking, so be careful when if you try to jump past that, because you can get stuck in that bamboo and it's a little bit annoying. I'll go over this gypsum kiln here in a little bit. I don't want to get too sidetracked, I don't want to break up too much. So what we're doing right now is just town board missions. I should have that on me. I don't, no way. Oh wait, this is a little weird. So they have no, what the heck? This is ex-outcast. Okay, do they also own this? Okay, so this is the sign. We're gonna go in the signs of a bad company here real quick. So, you know, when I went to this town board and I was just checking things out, I was just doing my regular routine, you know, just living my life, and then I see shenanigans here. So this here, this tells me that this place isn't being tended to. And then like, well, what is it? Is it because they've done everything, or is it because they're not doing anything? So no light, okay. So they do have active bots, so it's not that they aren't doing anything, but it doesn't look like they are upgrading. There's tier 4s still. This is really annoying. So this is probably because they see their Covenant, so they're more strategic player base, and they probably are suggesting that because their characters are so high gear scored, because you only need to be level 50 for invasions. You don't need a 600 gear score. You don't need a 625 gear score to be able to do the invasion. That is as long as you have these upgrades, which you can see these are all tier 1s. So these are all territories. It's always worth it to have these active for your community, because that allows them to gain territory standing. The higher territory standing is, the better players they can be for their region. I'm going to go ahead and abandon these. I am going to go ahead and keep that, just because I will start collecting cooking, because we will have sorry, reading chat again. The goal just keeps going down. Alright, where did I say that I wanted to end up? Ah, yes. We were gonna end up here. What is this? Ah, that's a syndicate quest, huh? So Outcast holds all these places, but they're not upgrading. That seems really weird. Oh, I know where I did want to stay in Restless Shore, didn't I? You know, we're actually gonna go out to Cutlass. Huh. You know, that's pretty dorky. Is that what I'm really reading? Did the Covenant really... See, this is the type of shenanigans where I'm just like, I'll lose respect for Covenant players. So, they have all this purple that they could fight, right? But they pushed it, the one Marauder faction that people got. And they want to be like, nah, Marauders can't have nothing. It really, like, there's just seems to be people that think that, like, playing the game is by grieving other people, by making other people not enjoy the game. Like, there's only a finite supply of people that are allowed to enjoy the game at a time. Pretty weird, if you ask me. So, I need to get some of this weight off of me sooner than later. We're gonna start fast traveling now. Huh, what are they talking about? Huh, I guess that there's going to be some changes to gear score coming up. Huh. Gross. Alright. And again, we're just gonna pop in and see what they're doing here. See, Monarch's Bluff usually gets a cold shoulder. There's no real reason to. It's a great starting area. It's probably my favorite starting area. It's Monarch's Bluff. Whew, see, right there in the comments, people are like, they didn't buy their houses because of the taxes. Don't do that to yourself. That's like the worst thing that you can possibly do. You're literally just removing it. You can't, you'd sit there and complain about how everything takes too long when you're, you could be doing an additional 6% damage to everything around you. Hardly any portals in the fen still. So something else to pay attention to when your faction has control of the territory, you can't see it on that. You're going to have to look at it through the bio. But if I were to go to Morningdale, you'd see how I get plus 50 luck, plus 10% gathering bonus, and plus 5%. And that's everything is experience. Even when it's going into aptitude, that is still experienced gained. More honey. So to make the tier 5 restorative food, it requires the spice. Okay, so put a stone here. Guess they're smelting. I'm surprised I don't have my stonecutter stuff here if I have all my bricks. Alright, and cutlass keys is where I was putting my wood. Alright, too much wood. Well, it's still not quite what I need it to be. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. Yeah, nothing going on here. So, okay, so the momentum for doing the town board missions has kind of slowed down. That only took about 20 minutes every time. I am going to go ahead, get the smelting uniform on. We're going to go ahead and smelt some stuff down. How much do I have on me? 99. So when I was last playing, Obsidian Flux was like going for 20 cents a piece. So it's good to see that it's worth something again. Just going to keep on using it. It's not worth the storage on that because of how cheap it is. So it's worth just buying it. And then you can think of the auction house as basically the auction house is just storage that you pay for. And there's a stake. Alright, so the precious metals save so much space real quick. Always worth doing that. Okay, and yeah, we've hit enough of a base where I am okay. And we'll leave like I'm gonna just go ahead and craft it all. Sometimes I'd leave a little bit, but we'll just work out if we need that, we'll just cross that bridge when it happens. Okay, I'm probably gonna need some more flux here in a second. Yep. Didn't get enough. It's really quiet in town. Haven't really heard anyone talking. We're gonna go ahead and buy another. I just wanted to buy 250. You know what? Let's go ahead and buy 400. Looks like that's going to be going away, and that buy is going to be going. That auction is going to be going away in 40 minutes too. Oh, I'm out of charcoal as well? Gross. Ah, that's even worse. Okay, I bet I have some green wood though. Cutlass. Not nearly as much as I want. Gosh, I really haven't been getting enough stuff. If you're following along with the chat, I am happy with the ultimate trophy being that expensive. That's a great money sink because it's totally worth it. Whatever the price that they had put on that was going to be worth it because it's an ultimate trophy. I want that trophy because then I can put other. It's totally worth having one trophy be 5 trophies. a single loot lug trophy used to be like 70k. And this ultimate one is just going to cost you from the faction 45k. Okay, I need charcoal. I wonder if they're going to sell it to me cheap. Nope, it's expensive. Still can move though. Alright. So yeah. The thing with charcoal is that you can always make money with charcoal. It's just you think that you're going to saturate the market, and then you just can never saturate the market. So this is where having larger bag space comes into effect, because I was able to take that and I'm able to walk with it. I could probably walk up with up to about 2,100 pounds in weight. That's when I wouldn't be able to move anymore. And so that is the secret about having additional storage. It's what you can move around with. It's what you can actually physically do in the game. So a level 20 couldn't just take 10,000 walk across the field with it. No, they can. The level 20 can only carry 500. Okay, and boom. And we're just going all the way up. We're going to use platinums for this. Okay, and now so everything that we just crafted got dumped into our storage in hand. So we're going to organize this again by just throwing that stuff back up on the pile. The flux, and boom, I'm back underweight. I got 2,000 charcoal that I can put on the market real quick. And we are going to be able to sell that at just like let's see. We're probably going to make like, we're probably going to cover our costs is what we're going to end up doing this. That means like all the crafting money that we just spent, we're going to make that like, we're going to break even on our taxes and everything. You know what? I'm not even going to be guess. I'm going to prove a point that this is going, instead of going one under, I'm going to prove a point and just do it at the same price, not drop the price. It's going to sell anyway. Alright, and that it just made my load even lighter. I'm still very heavy though. I'm going to get these frozen spell staffs on the market. Alright, so 2000. Now, to explain the 2000 is that if you go to if a fresh level 60 went to his faction rep, he would be able to spend faction points and 2000 gold. So the fact that he only has to spend 2000 gold and no faction tokens on that item is the sell. And it's in his mind, he's like, wow, this person really knew how to price that item. They knew exactly how much I would pay. Yes, I know exactly how much you're going to pay because the game tells you what stuff is worth. There is, and then the rest of it is just going to be the players, because sometimes players do a lot of things, like they do a lot of chest runs, which is why these regents, the refining regents, are so cheap, is because there are hundreds of people every day just collecting chests. So they have all this stuff, but they don't want this stuff. They're only looking for the super rare loot. So they have all this stuff, and they'll just sell it for whatever, because it's not what they're looking for, and it just takes up all their inventory space, and they want to get rid of it. So I've almost spent 10 grand so far coming back in the game. I'm at 9, spending 9 grand so far. Kind of scary how quick it's going. People are really worried about gold sellers in the game, apparently. You know, something I really didn't like is I really don't like how people can do this, because there's a search feature in this game. Like, I can look up any person, but because of this barcode, I can't look them up. Like, this is what it's gonna look like. Alright, let's kind of look at our storage here real quick. Oh, I can put back on the skinning, and we're going to just try to help things stay organized here. Putting those back. And then we are going to do this as well. Yes. Oh. Okay, never mind. Nice. Okay. So what these are coming from, you're wondering, like, where the hell did you get all this from? When did you make all this? These are actually from buy orders. So I got these at an insanely good price at one point. Let's see, I think I need... Great, that doesn't put me overweight either. Fantastic. I'm gonna go ahead. Boom, boom. Is that really all I have of that? guess so. Yep, can only make 28 real quick. Ooh, that's pretty cool. Alright, so these, I'll explain these real quick. So what this can do is that, again, you'd have to have company power behind this, but you could affect the price of weird wood if you got a bunch of your company members to start refining this into the even wood. Okay. And we're gonna go buy some more sandpaper now at this point. Oh, you know what? I actually don't need to buy sandpaper. I have a bunch in storage. We're gonna buy some anyway because since that storage is already over encumbered, I don't want to take from it because then it's just less over encumbered. Okay, so we're gonna do. We're also going to see what aged wood is looking at, which man, dude. Okay, wow. There's some moves that could be made, that is for sure. Okay, so I got those. Am I going to be able to make more than 200? Oh, too far. Oh, way too far. Not smelting anymore, darn it. Okay. Okay, cool. Really? I didn't have any ironwood out? See, I had a little bit. Let's fix that up. You underestimate the number of monsters I slay. Okay, let's see if there's any chance that I can unclutter the fen. So, I was hearing something weird about there not being board gear anymore or something like that. So I'll have to take a look into that. That's the only thing that might be like kind of big. Okay. I'll bring it down to 5,000 and I just need to remove 500 more pounds. We should do this by weight now. I bet I had all that food being sold too. Okay, so how I'm going to end this is I'll start showing you guys how I do some storage management. So we are okay, so I needed to check something real quick. Okay, so the reason why I'm not worried about losing this gear is because most of the stuff that I have pulled out, I have upgraded it, so it won't be lost because I only have so few things that are actually 625, so those will always come back up to the top. I'm going to go ahead and throw my weapons in here. And then before I throw that back in, I'll make sure the woodworkers. Oops, it's last stand. Whoa, that's way, way over encumbered. Gee whiz. Oh, there's my 18,000 pounds of fish bait. Oh god, wait a minute. And my theory here is that the cases are way less than the actual resources. So. Where did I just see all that? Boom, okay. Oh. And we're just going to throw that on the market because we had it there and it was ready. And that just opened up a lot of space too. Yeah, now we can kind of shuffle things around a little bit if we need to. Because now what I can do, now that I got this, is that I could oh, I guess I can't just put it all in. I can take it all. I can't put it all in. I have to just still click this side over. What is still taking up so much weight though? For real, I'm 900 pounds. Where's all this weight? Oh. That makes sense. Alright, now that I've dumped most of my weight, what I can do is I can start unburying some of my other stuff. So the first one I'm going to unstuck is we're going to unstuck Weaver's Fen. The trick is that if I'm making this type of commitment of taking out my storage, that means I want to be playing the game for a couple days. Otherwise, I'm just wasting money. Sorry, I've been a little quiet. I've been putting a lot of thought on the prices that I was going to put on for those. Alright, we've almost unmucked this place. Okay, now at this point I could go back to Weaver's Fen and I could start putting stuff on the back on the market over there. Too much weight for that. Wait, I want to see what these bad boys are going for. These have been some of my favorite things to sell. We're gonna look at Cod Eye. Oh no, say it ain't so, guys. And it's very important to So there's a couple things I can do when I have so many ironwood planks. Is that there's several resources that I can make with these, one of them being instruments. But there's also territory crates that you can build at the stone turning table, territory supplies. So I'm able to trade in Weaver's Fen again, because I got the weight down enough. We'll probably get these weapons back on the market again. This money can certainly go quick, that's for sure. Still have a lot more food to put back on the market as well. Should finish doing that real quick. I really want so this is just totally dead storage, which I'm okay having some dead storage. I wish I really could have over encumbered it now that it didn't exist. I would have definitely put stuff on ice. That would have been the move to do for sure. Probably because I think Brightwood's my forever closed. Oh no, it's not. Well, a lot of stuff out in Brightwood actually. Yeah, let's throw my resources out over there. And can I move with 2,000? I can move with 2,000. Pretty cool, right? Shift hides and dies. Gosh, where? Ah, here it is. And it's just not worth, it's just not worth taking stuff out of this. I think that's all the stream I got in me. I do see myself slowing down pretty hard. Alright, let's get those back in there. I haven't seen where I put my leather working stuff yet. Here it is. Oh gosh, and this is where I keep all of that stuff too, hey? Okay. Looks like it's also where I was keeping my legendary mats. More dyes too. This guy dies everywhere, man. Darn it, did I put him somewhere else? Yeah, okay. Well, everyone, that's pretty much all I got for the stream in me today. Nice little 2-hour stream. Thanks for checking me out. Hopefully you learned something. How to waste 13k in one day with absolutely no prospects of it ever returning back into my hand. But hey, you know. Worst things could happen. Alright, you'll have a great day. I'll talk to you all soon.